I guess my biggest advice for the underclassmen is to realize that high school is important because high school is the foundation throughout your life. Like if you're going to military, workforce, or even college, high school is where it's at. You need to keep up with your grades, your extracurricular activities, and especially your social life. Like those are going to benefit you in the future. So take high school seriously, people. Just take it seriously. It's important to get your grades, but it's also important to grow more as a person because once you're out of high school, your maturity and your humbleness is really depending on how society views you. So that's why I believe that social development is important. So just go out, meet new people, meet new friends, and try new things.
As far as the college process goes, if I could offer any advice, my number one would try to get a feel for your family's financial standing. I know with mine, because of the way my family's finances are, it would have changed where I applied to. Some schools offer scholarships based on need and others based on merit and education. So had I known going into this process, I would have applied to more merit-based schools. Also, time management is crucial. I had 8 classes a day. I have a 0 hour. I had volleyball practice after school until 5 and work until 9:30. I'd come home, do homework, and then I'm pretty much tired and ready to go to bed. But I had scholarships and college applications to do, the Common App to fill out, FAFSAs to do. So make sure that you start early and you know what you're getting into, because I underestimated the amount of time that went into every application as well.
My advice for the lowerclassmen is to really worry about GPA, because if if you don't really worry about it, then it's gonna end up hurting you in the future, and you won't go to your first choice college or your second choice college. And my advice would be to them is, even though if your GPA isn't the greatest, you can still go to community college for a year or two, and then look up the requirements for your first choice or maybe even your second choice college that you'd like to go to, and it most likely will be a lot easier to get into the college if you're going to community college. For instance, for Missouri S&T, you need a 2.5 GPA, and I believe that's and 24 credit hours in order to attend the school. So I mean, that sounds a lot easier than how the requirements would be currently as they stand for incoming freshmen from high school.
My topic is overcoming adversity, and basically what I did to get through that, I used my struggle or a situation that was around me to be my motivation, and I just used that to know that my life won't be like that forever, and what I do now will affect me in the future, and if I do a good job now, then later on it will benefit me, and what I'm going through now I won't ever have to go through again. So don't give up, keep going, and you will make it through. It's almost over. You're not going to be in that situation forever.
So basically I'm going to tell you guys today what's the difference between a public school and a private school, and I'll touch on why a liberal arts private school may be the choice for you. Public schools, oftentimes, they have those upper 20,000 students, crowded campus, very large, acres of land, and then oftentimes you'll be put in lecture halls, and the goal there is to get you in with your major and basically get you out so you're ready to start working. Well, when you start looking at smaller schools or specifically private liberal arts school, a lot of times it's a smaller campus, a little better financial aid. Oftentimes, I would say that you get a lot smaller ratio in terms of working with the faculty there. And eventually, when I first started applying, I was looking at all public schools, and I thought that's where I was going to go because they had the names, the reputation, the resources, and eventually I got the opportunity to fly out to F&M, and I saw the small campus, and I saw how it truly was a family, and that was the difference for me. And like even after that, I went to a couple large public schools. I went to Missouri and Iowa, and they didn't fit. So I would say that make sure you keep an open mind, and if you like public, hey, this is good. They have the resources and opportunities, but don't forget about the little smaller schools out there as well. Senior year, keep in mind that you're about to compete with, it's hard to fathom, but at some point you do have to realize that you're competing with every other high school student in the country to get into the best schools so you can get the best jobs. And a lot of times you weren't afforded the resources, or maybe you have more resources, whatever. You have to make yourself stand out, and you have to make yourself seem like someone who's confident and have the values that could cultivate a campus community. But while you're here, definitely make sure you are aware of how you're presenting yourself, how you are carrying yourself through the hallways, because people will always notice that about you, and that depends whether or not they're going to give you these opportunities and all sorts of things. But stay out of fights. They're never, ever worth your whole, like, you may not think about it. One fight could lead to you not getting into a good school. Not getting into that good school could mean you not getting the job that you want or something like that. So make sure your behavior's on point. You're conducting yourself well. Don't get into any fights. Try not to curse if you can. Try not to be, just do anything vulgar. Maintain a good reputation on social media. All that good stuff. I believe in you guys. Good luck. Have a good year.
The advice I will give is basically I'm going to school for an athletic scholarship. So with me going to school for an athletic scholarship, the advice I have for everyone is to basically, if you're an athletic person and you're trying to go to school for athletics, then you have to keep your grades up, maintain a good GPA, and be able to inquire all the, like I say, your ACT. You have to make sure that you're dedicated, motivated, no matter what it takes for you to get there. You gotta be on it, you gotta want it, and achieve it. Like, don't give up just because it gets hard, because your class is hard, you're tired, and you gotta make sure you're doing all your work, homework, all of it, because once you get behind, that messes you up. And yes, you might be tired right after practice, because of course you gotta work hard in order to get better at what you're doing, but at the same time, you still gotta work hard in your classes too. Always, my number one thing I give you guys is make sure you stand on top of all your grades, no matter what it takes. That's the main thing. And getting help with the ACT. Miss K is one of the best persons I can say that will help you to be able to stay on top of everything and get the ACT up. So if you got the ACT and GPA, no matter what it takes, don't set aside your friends sometimes to get your career and goals accomplished. So my number one thing is to keep your grades up at all times, and work hard for what you want. Do not give up. If that's what you want, maintain it.
I'm Marilyn Nguyen, and I will be attending Lehigh University next fall, and it will be costing about $65,000 a year. I was really fortunate to be able to go to this school and get all of this money, especially since my family's no one's ever been to college before, and I'm going to be the first student within my family to go to college. I was able to do this because of all of the work that I put into my grades and my ACT score, which was a 30. And also my extracurricular activities. What's important is that you should work hard starting freshman year, even before then if possible, because it all matters, everything you do. Being in the top 10% will definitely help contribute. You don't even have to be the best at everything. Joining like 20 clubs and all AP classes, you don't have to do any of that as long as you do your best, and colleges will see that. With the money that they gave me, there's most of it's coming from the school, and then I spent tons of time writing essays and doing things for local scholarships and in-state scholarships, and I was able to get a few which covered the rest of my tuition. Great.